comment section. If you've got any questions, do let us know. I've got specs of the circuit, I've got specs of the cars as well. I got a little bit of background on some of the drivers, and as we said before, Sean is the one that I can tell you the most about. That, of course, is Red A1 Angel. Now, the reason I picked out Sean Simpson is because, by trade, he is also a professional racing driver. Races here in the United Arab Emirates. I think he's done 2 seasons so far behind the wheel of the Radicals. We look forward to seeing him drive next time out as well in the 2020-2021 season, and he is a pace setter in real life. Now, can he do the same thing on track? Will his on-track skills transition to online racing? Let's wait and see. As we're about to get the session underway, another 10-minute session here for the racing here, even though the clock actually says 20 minutes. So I think we've got 20 minutes of qualifying here for what is Heat 2. We're going to have a total of 14 drivers, hopefully no disconnections. As we said, in Heat 1, we had a long list of disconnections, unfortunately. Not attrition, but disconnections, no damage, but just disconnection from the internet. We hope we won't have the same thing here. We hope we have everyone on board as Audi driver into the wall. And let's see what the first times that we put in. So we're about to get underway here for the the second time here at the Dubai Autodrome National Circuit configuration. So do send us your questions. Do send us your questions if you have any. I'll do my best to answer them as well. Of course, the Dubai Drives team, of course, in the chat as well, so they'll be more than happy to help you as well. Yes, indeed. So how this works is we've had one heat race already. We have heat race number 2. If you missed heat race number 1, you can watch that again on the Dubai Drives YouTube channel. And we're watching now one of the first RS500s for us to see and go out on track. And this is going to be a very interesting car to watch it because it is the fastest car of the 3, but it's also one of the hardest cars to drive out of the 3, and the MMA Gorilla seems to have opted for 1 as well, so it wasn't just 2 on the list, it's actually 3, and of course is Shane behind the wheel. Here we are with Sean Simpson. As you can see, he's taking his time through the track. Of course, as we said before, a radical racer in real life here in the United Arab Emirates, races in the Gulf Radical Cup. I've seen him a number of times on the podium as well, and now, like we said, can he transition his on-track skills to the virtual world? Well, we'll find out in about 17 minutes time where he sits, and can he beat some of the best online racers here in the United Arab Emirates. Like we said, 15 minutes to go, no, not 15 minutes, 17 and a half minutes to go, excuse me, in the session, and Sean has spun it through the final corner. Who would have thought Sean would be the first to spin there? As we're about to get underway now for the first set of sort of flying laps here at the Dubai Autodrome National Circuit configuration. Of course, we're using the same track layout, the same cars as well, the same driving aids, the same penalties. Everything is identical to the first heat race, but the difference is we have different drivers. Peter Dominic, unfortunately, is not racing. Maybe we'll see him soon. Now they're on track. It'd be great to get more of the guys there on that who race in real life at the Dubai Autodrome. It'd be great to see some of them race here in the virtual world as well as part of the Dubai Drives eDrive Championship. As we're looking now at MJK 700, that's Mohammed J, as he's working his way down towards the final corner for his first time lap by the looks of it. And we see Alex here. Is he going to set the first lap time? He sets the second lap time. And he has a 1:38.974. And it looks like, no, that's the third best time for Alex and Trouble Goat. That's a 1:38.974. Yes, it is. And it looks like the rest of the field now are working their way across the line, and he's tumbling down the order. He is now down in the 6th position. The rest of the field now are setting their lap times as well, but still plenty of time left in the session at 16 minutes to go. Here we are looking at Richard now. Where is Richard? Has he set a lap time in yet? Yes, he has. He's currently in 2nd place overall. As There is Mohammed J. Now, has he set his time yet? Where is MJK on the leaderboard? Not yet. So this will be his first flying lap as he's down now and into the final corner. And let's see, he's followed by Sean as well. Sean Simpson, that is. Let's see what his first time is across the line. And is he up there with the best? Let's wait and see now as he's coming across the line. Now, where is he? That puts him in 12th place, 7 seconds off of the leader at the moment. Now, the number 1 spot is taken up by Jetlag Tommy. Of course, it's Tom behind the wheel, and he's 6/10 of a second out in front of Richard. And in 3rd place, we have... Who's that in 3rd place? That's Luke, sitting in 3rd, with the 4th place car being Fuddy. And the rest of the field there, Lewis sits in 5th place, and there's your top 5 at the moment, as our qualifying leader at the moment, the man out in front, sets a new fastest lap with a 1:34.207, but is immediately beaten by Alex with a 1:31.704. It's Trouble Goat there, who sets that time, who's just behind him, as we see now. Mohammed J, can he improve his time? He's down in 14th position. It's still not showing that he's set a lap time just yet. Nothing's popped up on the screen. Now, I wonder if that's because his lap time was invalidated. Great to see some of the drivers from race 1 participate in the group. Hello, Andre. Great to see you in the chat here, and looking forward to see you race in the second or the final heat race of the day. Of course, you're one of the 8 drivers from race 1 that have transitioned your way into that. And Engelbert, yes, that's a viable option. Probably do a better job in some countries than some presidents at the moment. But Rami for vice president, even. Better yet, didn't see the vice bit there. A little bit of blocking there on the screen, quite catch that. As looking once again here at Sean Simpson. And where is Sean? As he's worked his way up, yes indeed he has. He's gone from almost the back of the grid all the way up into the top 5 as he's down into the first corner here. Into the right hand there, very tight line. And of course, I think his on-track experience is now slowly starting to kick in. Of course, not just is he a professional racer, also there's a bit of driver coaching as well, and also all the track day sessions down at the Dubai Autodrome. As Richard working his way through the final corner, he's the man that's sat in 2nd place at the moment. He's 2.7 seconds from Alex at the moment. Now, can he improve his lap time? Yes, he does, but by only 4/10 of a second at the line. But it's a reduction into the lead. But where is Alex at the moment? Here's Tom. He was previously the man to beat. This is a bit loose there through the first sector. And he's currently sitting in 4th position at the moment, 3/10 of a second, or sorry, 3 seconds off of the pace setter at the moment. In the, of course, the Trouble Goat. This is Carl that we're looking at here. He's had a bit of a spin coming out of the bowl complex in his BMW M3. Indeed, he is a bit loose there through Tom Corderman. This could ruin. Now, is that who I think is the Trouble Goat behind him? Now, this could ruin his time if he was on a good one. As through the final quarter goes Carl. Who's that behind him? No, it's actually Sean Simpson. So that's actually ruined a bit of Sean Simpson's lap here from Carl. That's unfortunately when you have a lot of cars doing their qualifying session at the same time. So no improvement there for Sean, as he's still 4.8 seconds off of the pace setter at the moment. 1:31.192 for Alex. And then we have Richard in 2nd place with a 1:33.569. MJK, or Mohammed J, sits in 3rd place with a 1:33.590. And then we have Jetlag Tommy, or Tom, sitting in 4th place. Then we have in 5th position, and rounding out the top 5, that is Aidan in the 5th position, and there he is there. Now, can he improve his lap time? 1:34.666 is 4/10 of a second from Tom. Does he improve on that time? No, he doesn't. So he stays in 5th place. Behind him is Sean Simpson. As we continue on here, one of the cars there out wide through the chicane. And here's Barnes Farm, it's Kenneth. And one of the 3 drivers who is brave enough to use the RS 500. And you can see how loose it gets through the exit there, going into the bowl complex. You can see it's certainly the quickest of the 3. But a very skittish car indeed. And there's one car into the pit lane, that's Carl Simo, or Carl. As he's into the pit lane is Barnes Farms, or Kenneth, Now working his way through the final corner. And let's see if he can improve his lap time. Where is he at the moment? He's 13th. He's 9.2 seconds from the lead of the race. And who's just ahead of him in 12th place, because he's only a tenth of a second off of the 12th place time. And can we see that is Yusuf, who's sitting in 12th place at the moment. As once again looking at Mohammed J, who sits in where is he? He's third at the moment behind Richard, and of course pace setter Troubled Goat, or Alex, out in front by 2.3 seconds here at the Dubai Autodrome National Circuit configuration here. And yes, indeed, the Biker Crew UAE, the RS500 is out, and there's not one, there's not two, but there's three of them out on track, which is great to see out of the 15 we have. So that's we have, what was that? Is that a fifth? A fifth? Yeah, it is a fifth of the field at the moment is using an RS500, which is great to see. While the other massive percentages are taken up by the BMWs and the Mercedes. Of course, the Mercedes being the most popular choice, being the second fastest, and somewhat in the middle of the both. The BMW is lighter compared to the Mercedes, but the Mercedes and the BMW on par with 0 to 100 times, and it's the top speed that's slightly different. I think the BMW has 182 mile per hour top speed, whereas the Mercedes has 187 as it through. And now into Sector 2 goes Mohammed J. What car choices are there? There's only 3 choices, would you believe? No, unfortunately, no Jags at all, because unfortunately no Jags in the Group A touring cars category here in the Project Cars 2. So we're just using the Mercedes-Benz Evo, which is the 2.5, the 190e that is. Then we have the BMW M3, and then the other choice is the Ford Sierra Cosworth, the RS500, which is the most unpopular choice out of the 3 at the moment. But it is great to see that we have at least 3 of them on track, at least here in race 2. Great to see if we can have at least one of them in our grand finale. Now, where is the highest placed RS500? I can tell you that Kenneth, who's driving one of them, is down in 13th at the moment. Anas is in. Now, where is he? He is not here. I can't see his gamer tag on the thingy. And then the other one that we're looking out for is Shane. And then it's the MMA Gorilla. Now, where can we see THE? There he is. And unfortunately, he's way down in 15th position. So a very tough day here for the RS500 drivers, as they're going to have to really push it in the second race of the day, which is the one of 3. As across the line goes the MMA Gorilla. No improvement on his lap time there. And it's down towards the first corner he goes. Now, a lot of clean air in front and behind him, not too much to worry about, so he can certainly put in a good lap time there, although very late on the brakes. A bit loose there through turn 1 is the MMA Gorilla Shane behind the wheel. There's one of the RS, or the other RS500s. That's Kenneth behind the wheel, and that is into the penultimate corner there. Didn't quite see why that's happened, but out of the 2, he's currently the best placed RS500. And of course, this is a car that we will keep an eye on, and a little bit wide there through the final corner, but he keeps it in check, and he's working his way now across the line. And does he improve his lap time? I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. With 1:40.419 as his best time. Got a car into the pit lane. That's Martin who comes in. A bit of possibly a setup change there for Martin with 6.5 minutes to go. Another car in the pit lane as well, making its way out. And is that Carl Simo? I think it is. I think it is Carl that's making his way out of the pit lane. And that is a rather slow, troubled goat. That's Alex. Now, has the goat got some trouble? And we'll have to wait and see about that. As there is the end of the session, so that may be why Trouble Goat was going so slowly there. But there is confirmation of the lineup for the second race, or the second heat race. And better yet, no, it's not. That's just my eyes deceiving me. That was just a shot there of the lineup so far. So apologies for that. We've still got 5 minutes of racing, or 5.5 minutes of racing here to go in the second heat race. Looking at Sean Simpson here in 7th position at the moment. As through the first corner goes Sean Simpson there, a little bit wide through, especially in the braking zone there, through turn 1, and clatters into one of the other drivers there as the BMW M3 is off track. And a little bit of argy-bargy there from the 2 German cars. Now, who is that went through? Can't wish there was name tags just above the car as one of the RS 500s is into the pit lane, and it slowly rolls down. That, of course, is Kenneth. Now, where is he? He's still in 13th at the moment. Hasn't improved his lap time with a 1:40.419 is his fastest so far. As there is the pace setter at the moment, Alex, with a 1:31.192, and he's 2 seconds clear of Mohammed J. Richard runs in 3rd place with Tom in 4th, and then in 5th position is, I need to get this name right, it's Fadi in 5th position. You can see the rest of the field there on the left-hand side of the screen. You can see the top 5 along the bottom of the screen, and you can see the gap between themselves and Troubled Goat, or Alex, who we're on board with right now. And you can see the gap between 2nd and 3rd is only 0.2 of a second, and then it's a further 0.5 of a second back to Tom, and then he sits about 5.10 of a second, from Fadi. There's Alex there, a spin through, what was that, turn 3 he was going through there. Not too much to worry about, though, at the moment for Alex, although he does have to be careful, because Mohammed J is going faster, as is Richard as well, as we're looking at Martin at the moment. He was briefly in the pit lane as he's going through the penultimate corner and down towards the final corner now. Now, can he improve his lap time? As he's currently in, and where is Drinko? 76 on the leaderboard. He's down in 11th place, just outside the top 10. And can he improve this time round? Nope, settles still for 11th place. Or better yet, no, he hasn't. He improved on that lap, He's up now into 7th position, is Martin. As he's now up into, we said 7th place, made that 8th now, as he's dropped behind the, who is that? That's Random Punter 74. That's Luke, who's now gone into 7th place. Actually, no, that's not Luke there in 7th place. Luke is... Actually, yes, it is. My apologies. It is. I was correct the first time. It is Random Punter 74 sitting in 7th position. As Drinko 76 is back into the pit lane, as we're now on board with Lewis, who is in 12th place, who sits just ahead, or better yet, he sits about 2.1 seconds, or 2.2 seconds, ahead of the fastest RS 500. As there, we're looking at Luke right now. So we're just talking about there, who's sitting in 7th place at the moment. And of course, you can see the top 5 at the bottom of your screen. Of course, Alex Troubled Goat leads the session by 2 seconds over Mohammed J. Then we have Richard in 3rd place. He's about 0.3 of a second off of Mohammed J. Then it's Tom, who is in further 0.5 of a second from Richard, and 2.8 seconds off the pace of the leader. And then we have Fadi in 5th position, about 0.5 of a second from Tom as they run. 1 minute and 44 seconds to go in the session. Bit loose there through the bowl complex. The exit that was leading into the penultimate corner was Luke. And now, will that affect his time? I believe it will, but he looked like to be going faster than his previous lap, so let's see what he can do when he's across the line, and he'll have enough time to complete one more lap this time round. Where is he? Has he improved his time? No, he still has to settle for 7th place with a 1:35.684, about 4.4 seconds off of the leader. Here's the man that's sat in 2nd place at the moment, Mohammed J, who's through and onto now the long back straight. Going to take the right-hander into the chicane that now leads up into the bowl complex. Then into the right-hander, then it's a quick lefter, snap right back to the left, and then snap across to the right. Ideally, you want to try and straight line the chicane. And into the bowl complex here, sweeps left and up-hander as well. Then into the penultimate corner, a bit loose there through the exit of the bowl. But through the penultimate corner he goes now, and down towards the final corner. Using 17 corners like this, about 2.23 miles in length is the Dubai Autodrome National configuration. As through the final corner, and let's see what if he improves his time. A 1:33.241 is still his best, so no improvement on that lap. Still sitting 2.049 behind pace setter Troubled Goat, or Alex is the man out in front. He's the man to beat. Bit of a lock up there through the first corner, and that's one of the RS 500s. Now that's not Kenneth's car. That's the second of the RS 500. Is that the MMA Gorilla? Yes, it is. That's Shane. He locked up through the first corner, a bit wide there, through there, but tricky lines there through the third corner. As qualifying now is officially over, so these will be the last laps for the racers to cover. As let's see if Muhammad J can try and take down Alex. See if he can be on the front row of the grid. We'll be on the left-hand side as Alex has retired to the pit lane, but Muhammad J is now working his way through the chicane. And it's the right-hander now into the up-hand left corner of the bowl complex, and into the exit he goes now. There's a spin in front of him. That's one of the BMWs, and into the right-hander now. The penultimate corner for the final time, and he's now down towards the final corner. A 1:33.241 is the time he had, and the time to beat is a 31.912. He needs to improve by almost 2 seconds on this lap. Can he do it across the line? He improves by, but not enough though, unfortunately. A 1:33.084 keeps him locked in second place for now. Where is Richard? Has he taken the checkered flag? I can tell you that Tom has. So we'll have to settle for fourth place. As the rest of the field now working their way across the line. They're about to get underway for the second heat race of the weekend. It'll be the second race here. And it will serve as a qualifying race as well. So qualifying is officially over for the 15 drivers. And there is confirmation of your top 10. Alex will be on the front of the grid, and alongside him will be Muhammad J in second position. He'll be on the right-hand side. Richard takes up third, with Tom in fourth position. Then we have the rest of the field lining up behind him, and we'll dive straight up into the next race here. So Alex there on the left-hand side of your screen, he is the pole man, and alongside him is Muhammad J, who sits in second place. Richard lines up in third place with Dubai Drive's very own Tom on the right-hand side here of Richard. He lines up in fourth place. Then we have Fadi in fifth place, followed by in sixth position is Aiden, and then there you see some of the RS 500s. That's Shane, the MMA Gorilla, down in the final row of the grid on row number 8, all by his lonesome, out of the 15 drivers here. So we've got more drivers this session, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that we don't have a lot of disconnections like we did last time. And we're about to get underway soon for Heat Race 2 here of the weekend. Like Heat Race 1, the top 8 will go into the final race, and we'll have a shootout of 16 drivers going for that all-important championship win. As we're underway now for the final part of the formation lap here, a rolling start through the final corner. We're looking at Muhammad J there on the right-hand side. He should be tucked in alongside the Alex driven Troubled Goat car, as they're already leading each other. And we're green here for the second time here at the Dubai Autodrome, and once again using the national circuit configuration and trying to go 3 wide already down towards turn 1. Richard looks to the inside of both Alex and Muhammad J. Are we going to try and make it 4 wide? No, we're not. Richard thinks better of it and brakes way too early and has lost out, but now he's coming his way back up the field, as we already have an instant going through turn 2. Carnage in the background, but we continue on here. What happened there? One of those involved is Sean Simpson, and he's got a wrecked rear end as we're through now and into the first sector for the first time here. The pole sitter already down, and where is Troubled Goat? He's down in fourth place already. as Lewis, or better yet, that's Richard, that's the man who sat in third place. Now up in 2, is he into second? Yes, he is, as Muhammad J got through cleanly there and is now gapping the rest of the field by 2 seconds now, as the gap is updated live here through and into the left-hander now onto the shortened back straight. We'll go into the right-hander here, it'll be a right, left, right. A very quick chicane complex here as outbraking himself is, now who was that? That was outbraking himself just ahead of Vish. That is a spin there, and that is a little bit of a contact there through the chicane. A bit more messy this race is compared to the first race that we had early on. More argy-bargy going through the bowl complex as one of the Mercs gets loose and spins and faces now the wrong way. As the drivers are all over the place, and this is a great chance for some of the RS 500s as they're working their way up the order as well. Now, where is the highest placed RS 500 is into the side of Jetlag Tommy, or Tom. Goes one of the drivers there and bumps him off. Now, where has that put him? That's put him down in a 7th place. So there is the top placed RS 500 currently sitting in the bubble. He's in 8th place. And if the flag was to wave then, he would have been in the final. But we have 6 laps left of racing, or better yet 7 laps of racing here at the Dubai Autodrome. The national circuit configuration here. Looks like, unfortunately, we've lost a driver already. We were in 14, and now we're down to 15. We're 15 down to 14, excuse me. As we're keeping an eye on Fadi now, who was in the top 5 at the beginning, and now into 4th place. A little bit of a bump there into the back of, who's that in 3rd place? At the moment, it's not Richard, as I can tell you. That is Luke, and Fadi there a bit too eager to get past him, and that has lost him significant ground, enough to put Kenneth in the 6th place in the RS 500 as the Ford soldiers on here, and it certainly is relinquishing the fact that all the cars are crashing into one another, and they're all happening in front of him. He's having a nice clean race here, but he's being careful on the entrance here to the chicane. As a nice clean race here for the RS 500 driver of Kenneth, as he's slowly working his way up the order. Now, where is he now? He's up all the way in 3rd place is Barnes Farm. Fantastic drive here. Nice clean racing from Barnes Farm as well. That's how you do it. But here comes Tom applying the pressure to the rear end. For some reason, not as fast there through the penultimate corner is the RS 500 compared to the Merc. As the Merc is through, and now, unfortunately, Barnes Farm losing some ground here as he's through the final corner and lost out 3 positions. Puts him in 6th place, but he's still in that bubble there to be in the final race. And it'd be great to see at least one of the RS 500s in there. Okay, looks like we have 3 cars now missing from the race. We should have had 15. We should, but unfortunately we're missing 3 and more contact through the first sector. And what's happened here, as there is Luke into the wall. Now that was the man that's in 6th position. Unfortunately, contact. And yes, I think, Rami, you are correct. I think Alex is disconnected from the session. So, unfortunately, we've lost Troubled Goat. As there is Red One Angel. And, of course, is Sean Simpson. Currently sitting in 9th place, but he's in the battle for, is that 10th place? No, it's not. That's battle for 8th, because behind him is the MMA Gorilla. And Sean here working his way around the outside and coming under pressure from the MMA Gorilla. And what's good about this is that it looks like we actually have 2 of the 3 RS 500s into the top 8, which is great news. The more RS 500s, the better. Now, I wonder why we have a red mark on round punter 74. Is that because we are watching him live? I think that might be the case, as we're tucking in now behind the 5th place car of, is that Aiden? Yes, it is. Jazzy 19. Is that Luke looking for a way around the outside. And then the left-hand side, but the first corner here is a right-hander. This is a drag race down towards the first corner here. Tucks on the inside, big lock up there from Kenneth behind them in 6th position, or 7th place, excuse me. And it looks like spoke too soon about having 2 of the top, the two of the RS500s, excuse me, being in the top 8, as the MMA Gorilla unfortunately now down into 12th place. Good news is though we still have Barnes Farms, or Kenneth, running in 7th place at the moment. And he is, where is he at the moment? He is 6/10 of a second, excuse me, up the road from Red Angel 1. Of course, that's Sean, as Alex there loses out once again, a bit too loose there through the corner, loses out to one of the RS500s. I think he loses out to Red Angel 1 as well, as there is Muhammad J having a very peaceful race here, and he's currently sitting 18 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. And great job here from Muhammad J, keeping it cool as the carnage happens behind him. I'm sure pretty soon he will be he'll be catching up to the back of the field. We've also lost Richard 1000. Thank you, Dominic, for pointing that out. So we lost Richard as well. Not good news here. Some more disconnections happening in this second race as that random punter again off the side. Now, yes, I think whoever said that Alex might have a penalty, I think that is the case. I think that's why his number is flagged, because we're no longer watching him. We're having a look at Tom, and his the number 9 ninth place driver is still flagged red, which means I think random punter 74, who we're looking at right now, has the a penalty applied for him. So continuing on here with 3 laps to go into the first corner here. Very wide and very late on the brakes there for Vish, and Alex there as well, late on the brakes as well. The cut back onto track just in front of, now who's that behind them? That's is that Drinker 76? Yes, indeed, that's Martin there in 9th position, just follows in behind him as Muhammad J continues to lead here by 18.8 seconds. The gap has come down though, as Tom is slowly starting to reel in. Race leader Muhammad J, as Martin is into the side of Vish there, going through, what is that, turn 4 and 5. So a long right hand, well, better yet, a right to a right immediately, not quite a hairpin. Small gap in between as we have a driver into the pit lane. That's the MMA Gorilla. Shane is in, and that's one of the RS500s. To that message, not sure why my PS4 wants to sleep. There's some intense action. Maybe the PS4 controller should be watching the screen as well. Look at the intense racing action here as part of Dubai Drive's eDrive Championship here, and random punt Alex all over the place there through the penultimate corner. Is that down towards the final corner once again goes Alex. Where is he now? He's sitting in 8th place. He's on the bubble, but it looks like another driver has a penalty. Is that Aiden? It is. Jazzy19 has a penalty as well by the looks of it. Not sure what that is for, possibly for track limits. As into the final first corner goes the man we just talked about. There's Aiden through. He's one of the other drivers that has the red flag. And why is he bashing the cones? Not sure why. Is Tom there currently set in 2nd place as the MMA Gorilla is back out, and that of course is back marker traffic. Tom there having a relatively clean race now at the moment. Didn't start off this way. Shamoon Bali, we did try Gran Turismo. I think we might look into GT again. We did a demo run during the week, or at least the Dubai Drives guys and some of the other guys did a demo run. Maybe we'll do it. We're not 100% sure. Just stick to our social media channels. It is, of course, Dubai Drives and on Instagram and Facebook. And you stay in tune if we're going to do some Gran Turismo racing. But the reason we might be doing just Project Cars 2 is because we can race here on the Dubai Autodrome, which of course is our home circuit. And of course it brings plenty of action here, as you're seeing right now on the as part of the second heat race here in the as the Dubai Drives eDrive Championship. We're on lap 6 of 8 through the Bond Complex again. That's Kenneth just in front, and that would mean we're on board with who? Well, that's Sean Simpson that we're looking at, and indeed it is. Thank you very much, Greg, for the excellent directing work here. And the camera work as we're down towards the final corner. There is Sean Simpson. Where is he now? He is currently in 7th position. As into the pits goes Aiden, as the RS500 goes a bit wide. But we'll go now up into 6th place. As we have another driver into the pit lane. Now, who's that? That is... I didn't quite catch who it is. That must be Aiden that's going through. As the RS500 is looking on the inside of Sean Simpson, but brakes much later compared to the Radical Racer. It's Kenneth, but he's sticking with the BMW M3 as he's through the first couple of corners there, getting loose through turn 2 though, and he's hit the wall, but he continues on here. But again, a relatively clean race here for the RS 500, and of course Kenneth behind the wheel, looking to be in the final race here, as we're up to 12 drivers here. Started with 15, and unfortunately the disconnection has happened quite fast as race leader starts the final lap. So it's comfortably 24.6 seconds ahead of the rest of the field is MJK. That's Mohammed J, who leads out in front, as we said, by 25 seconds. As that Yusuf, who comes through the corner there, through the bowl complex, bit loose through the corner as well. As we're taking a look now at Martin, who's working his way down towards the final corner, and there is Kenneth currently sitting in. Where's Kenneth? He's in 5th place. A great showing here for the RS 500 as he's working his way through sector 2 at the moment. As again now we're looking at Lewis, who's working his way through the final corners as well. He's on the penultimate lap, but where is race leader? Where is Mohammed J? Is he taking the checker flag yet? No, he hasn't, as Vish is loose through and across and right in front of, who's that? That's the MMA Gorilla. That's Shane, who he cut across there through the penultimate corner. And then unfortunately may have taken them both out. No, the MMA Gorilla continues on here. Shane down in 11th place, and unfortunately we've lost another driver here due to disconnection. As across the line is the MMA Gorilla. Now where is the race leader? As we're on board the RS 500 down towards the first corner, and Mohammed J across the line takes the victory here in heat race 2. As he's down now and across the line, but who will it be across the line in second? It should be Tom, who is 24 seconds behind him at the moment. There, of course, is the heat race 2 winner after a very interesting second heat race here, as Tom is through the final corner and will be across the line now to take second place, and he's relatively free in front and behind him. Flashes lights, bit of a weave across the line, celebrating his second place finish. And in third place we will have Yusuf, who is across the line now, and following him is that the 4th place man who looks to also have a penalty. Is that Martin there alongside him? No, it's not. That would be Fadi, excuse me. Is Kenneth working his way through the penultimate corner and now down towards the final corner, and we're looking to finish in 5th place, although the car in front of him does have a penalty. As through the final corner comes the RS 500. It looks like we'll have at least one RS 500 in the final race to take place at 6 p.m. today, as he's across the line there. Now we've got another penalty to dish out as another timer ticks over into the red. And there is the finishing lineup so far. We're just waiting for a few more drivers to make their way across the line. So 2 more drivers, Martin and Shane, to work their way across the line. And there indeed are some penalties on the right-hand side. Fadi, excuse me, receives a 1-minute penalty. Lewis gets a 9-minute penalty. Wait, those are seconds, not minutes. My apologies. That's a 1-second penalty for Fadi, a 9-second penalty for Lewis, a 28-second penalty for Aiden, and Alex get a 31-second penalty. I think that wraps it up there for race 2. And boy, that was an interesting race there, as there is confirmation of the leaderboard for our 10 racers. Mohammed J takes the win from Tom, and rounding out the top 3 is Yusuf. Then in 4th place is Martin, and rounding out the top 5 in the RS 500 is Kenneth. And that wraps up the second race, or the second heat race. We'll move on now to the final, which is scheduled to take place at around 6 p.m. So join us for that, and we'll see you soon.